All right, good afternoon and welcome everyone to Heartland Championship Wrestling here on the Epic Sports Broadcasting Network. My name is Dave Little and we are coming to you live from the Dave Cave with action from the Atlantic Wrestling Federation from Miami, Florida. And this is a big day indeed. October is the month which Heartland Championship Wrestling was born back in the year 2006. And every October we celebrate with the Tournament of Champions. All of the men and women and tag teams who have held championship gold in the Heartland over the last 12 months come together for a tournament to determine the annual Filsinger Cup winners for the year. The Filsinger Cup, of course, named after the legendary Tom Filsinger, the creator of the Legends of Wrestling game. And today this is the final house show before next week's pay-per-view broadcast of the 2021 Tournament of Champions. So we have got a couple of quarterfinal matches in the singles tournament, a semifinal in the tag team tournament, and a grudge match to put on the channel for you here tonight in preparation for next week's Tournament of Champions pay-per-view. Earlier this evening, we saw a couple of the quarterfinals in the men's tournament as Shane Douglas continued his run through the tournament with a big win over the Destroyer. And Douglas makes the semifinals of the Filsinger Cup Tournament for 2021. His semifinal opponent will be Dusty Rhodes, who also scored a big win tonight over Michael Elgin in action that took place before we went live. Also in tag team action, it was a war as the Fabulous Freebirds defeated Big John Studd and Ken Patera to earn their spot at next week's Tournament of Champions. And now we are ready for tonight's live action, starting off with the quarterfinal matchup between one of the most respected grapplers in the history of the game, this man Verne Gagne. Nice AWA bootleg that I have been able to obtain, limited edition. He will take on the Legend of Wrestling and the current NWA World Heavyweight Champion VADER in quarterfinal action here tonight. As we say hello to Thomas Morgan in the chat room. Welcome, Thomas, to tonight's action. And we are ready to kick things off with Verne Gagne taking on the big man VADER. And in the opening initiative role, it is VADER who takes control. And VADER immediately comes out with a hammering forearm assault, just pummeling Verne Gagne with those massive meat hooks. Gagne backed into the corner. And VADER with a running body avalanche smashes into the corner. And that stuns Verne Gagne. Gagne goes down, and that's going to cost him a point of fatigue. Gagne with a pin rating of just 1, so there's no reason to roll the pin. But VADER is large and in charge and in control here with a big suplex, taking Gagne up, over, and down hard to the canvas. Gagne quickly in trouble against the big, powerful World Heavyweight Champion VADER. VADER's going to follow that up with another huge suplex up, over, and down hard to the canvas. Gagne finally struggling to his feet, and VADER just wails on him with a big clothesline. VADER coming with the heavy lumber here early in the contest. VADER now with another series of hammering forearms, pummeling Gagne, pushing him back into the corner. And now a big front slam as VADER just comes full body weight onto Gagne in the corner. And Gagne once again goes down. Boy, VADER is dominant in this contest here tonight. And now he is going to go up for the VADER bomb. And down hard to the canvas goes Gagne. The pin roll here is a 3. But on a roll of 7, Gagne kicks out, and I'm not sure why he would want to do that. He's just going to earn more punishment in this situation as VADER is in control. And now VADER is going to go for the big release power bomb. And down to the canvas hard goes Gagne. The pin roll now is a 5. But on a roll of 8, Gagne once again got that left shoulder out of there. Gagne showing some resilience here in the face of a desperate pummeling he has taken from VADER. And now VADER with another big suplex takes Gagne down to the canvas. Will we see any offense whatsoever out of Verne Gagne? Vader with a big power body slam, taking Gagne down once again. And this is about to turn into a mercy killing. Gagne gets to his feet, and Vader comes at him with a front chancer. He just tries to take him down to the canvas now. And Gagne's going to try and score with a big chop, but that's not going to do anything to the massive barrel chest of the big man Vader. And Vader just follows him up and pounds on him with a big elbow drop down to the mat hard. Vader in control here. Lifts him up and down hard again with a big power slam. And Gagne is hurt, holding that low back, which has taken a lot of punishment here. But Gagne is gamely trying to fight his way back into this match. And Vader just drilled him with a big boot to the face. Big boot to the face as Gagne got up to hands and knees. Vader just showing all kinds of contempt for this man Gagne. But if he lets Gagne get started on some of that wrestling, Gagne knows how to take a man down if Vader doesn't put him away here quickly. And now another big body slam from Vader. Front slam down hard to the canvas. Full body weight down on top of Gagne. Vader back in control. Vader with another big Vader bomb down to the canvas hard. Pin roll is a 5. And on a roll of 12, Gagne got out of there again. He got that right shoulder out of there. And the match will continue with Vader and another bone-crunching splash down on top of Gagne. Vader again goes for the cover, and Gagne gets his left foot over the ropes. 5 points of fatigue taken by Verne Gagne in this match already, and that's way more than he's even gotten in terms of offensive moves. And now Vader's going to go for the big release powerbomb once again. The pin roll now is an 8, and on a roll of 6, finally he got him. Vader just dominated that match, fans, and he is showing why he is the world heavyweight champion. So a big victory for Big Van Vader over Gagne to easily move forward in the tournament. So Vader defeats Gagne, and Vader will move to the semifinals, which will be held on next week's Tournament of Champions pay-per-view. All right, so our first match was pretty one-sided there. Every bit as one-sided and more so than the beating that Dusty Rhodes put on Michael Elgin earlier in the show. Destroyer and Douglas actually had a pretty good match. Now we've got tag team action, and this is going to be fun. Big win, blowout, no match there, says Thomas Morgan, and indeed, sir, you are correct. But now we have got tag team action between two of the one of the finest rough and rugged tag teams in the history of the sport, Dick the Bruiser and the Crusher. Once again, Dick the Bruiser, a limited edition bootleg from an AWA set I was fortunate to get hold of, and the Crusher from Expansion Pack 3. So this is a bona fide Filsinger original card. We'll set them up with 0 points of fatigue and 2 pin saves. Their opponents will be Jay and Mark, the Briscoe brothers, Ring of Honor tag team legends, and a couple of double tough rednecks from Sandy Fork, Delaware. And as reality would have it, the Briscoe brothers really looked up to the tag team of Bruiser and Crusher and patterned a lot of their style and a lot of their moves after Bruiser and Crusher. They're obviously a new millennium team and bring a lot of athleticism and more high-flying maneuvers than Bruiser and Crusher ever dreamed of. But you'll see Mark and Jay Briscoe do things that that Bruiser and Crusher used to do. Like in the middle of the match, they'll get frustrated with each other and just start headbutting each other out of frustration, much like Bruiser and Crusher would do back in the day. So this should be an entertaining match as Mark and Jay Briscoe attempt to move to the finals of the Filsinger Cup Tag Team Tournament for 2021 against their idols, Dick the Bruiser and the Crusher. And here we go. It will be the Crusher to start things off against Jay Briscoe. As these two men square off in tag team competition. And the opening initiative roll goes to the Crusher. And here they come to lock up in the center of the ring, and quickly Crusher picks up Jay Briscoe, just reaches down, scoops him up, and slams him down hard to the canvas in a body slam. And quickly goes for the cover. Jay kicks right out of that, but the Crusher making a powerful statement here off of the opening lockup. And Crusher now with a stomach claw, just punishing Jay Briscoe. Briscoe struggling to his feet as the Punisher tries to overpower the young fella. Here's a big knee drop from the Crusher. And Briscoe takes the brunt of that one, finally gets to his feet. And Crusher is right in after him with another kick to the stomach. Crusher with an assault early on. And Crusher follows that up with a whip to the turnbuckle. Off the turnbuckle comes Jay Briscoe. You know, on a roll of 3, it is Briscoe who gets out of the way of a charging Crusher. Crusher hits the ring post and tumbles out of the ring. And we've got our first foray into the arena floor here tonight. Both these men love to mix it up. All 4 of these men will spend as much time on the arena floor as in the ring. And on a roll of 7 on the out of the ring chart, the opponent comes out of the ring to attack you and a wild brawl erupts. The wrestler with a better ring rating wins the brawl and rolls on level 3 offense. If both wrestlers have the same ring rating, and these guys are both rated A out of the ring, so it will be Jay Briscoe winning the brawl and taking control here over the Crusher as action returns to the ring. And we say hello to Cleveland baseball fan 879. Good evening, sir, and welcome to the Epic Sports Broadcasting Network. Jay Briscoe now has the opportunity to take control, and he just dumps Crusher onto the mat with the Death Valley driver. And Jay is now going to tag out to brother Mark. Mark is in control as Crusher slowly gets to his feet, and Mark immediately comes in with some redneck kung fu. Hands and feet and fists flying everywhere as Briscoe squeals at the top of his lungs and scores with a series of chops to the Crusher. Crusher doesn't know quite what to think of that. He gets to his feet, and it is Mark Briscoe now with a whip to the turnbuckle. Them boys are tough, says Thomas Morgan. Crusher comes off the turnbuckle, and on a roll of 5, this time it is the Crusher with a knee to the head of Mark Briscoe, and that stuns Briscoe. Crusher follows that up with a big elbow drop, and Briscoe drops down to the canvas, rolls out of the ring again. And this time, instead of another brawl on the arena floor, we're going to see a tag into Dick the Bruiser, who will wait it out for Mark Briscoe to return to the match. Mark Briscoe is one crazy son of a gun, and he proved it in the opening series there with that redneck kung fu. As now Briscoe rolls back into the ring where Dick the Bruiser is waiting. And Dick the Bruiser is going to try to power him up for a tombstone pile driver. And on a roll of 12, Mark gets out of that one. Dick the Bruiser unable to execute the pile driver as Briscoe gets out of there, comes off of the ropes and hits Bruiser with a senton splash. Didn't get all of that one. Bruiser to his feet. Mark Briscoe still in control. And Mark's going to try for a suplex. And that is a bad idea, as Dick the Bruiser is a much more powerful man than Mark Briscoe. There will be no suplex here, and instead it's going to be Dick the Bruiser grabbing Briscoe by the arm and a whip to the turnbuckle as we say good evening to Captain Carl in the chat room. Briscoe whipped into the turnbuckle, and now it is Briscoe on a roll of 5 with a knee to the head of a charging Dick the Bruiser, and it is Mark Briscoe now in control. Mark with another senton splash comes down hard on the fallen Dick the Bruiser. Bruiser rolls over and makes the tag out to the Crusher, and Crusher comes into the match. Crusher now against Mark Briscoe, and it is Crusher with a series of forearm smashes. Mark Briscoe fires right back with another series of forearms of his own, staggering the Crusher backwards. Briscoe follows that up with a high spinning leg lariat and just nails Crusher upside the head out of nowhere. Briscoe certainly didn't learn that one watching tapes of the Bruiser and the Crusher, But it is Briscoe in control once again as he comes off the ropes with a springboard cutter and takes Crusher back down to the mat. Crusher back to his feet. And Briscoe with another flying leg lariat. This time Crusher sidesteps that one. And Crusher comes back and catches Mark Briscoe in a big bear hug. Crusher with the bear hug on Mark Briscoe, punishing the ribs of the smaller man. Crusher's got about 35 pounds on Mark Briscoe, and he's using all of that strength on this bear hug until Briscoe finally reaches up and claps the ears of the Crusher. And Briscoe is going to drop down and roll out of the ring. Crusher will follow. Action spills out to the arena floor once again. And on a roll of 6, that is the best man wins. No, let's see, on an A6, that is going to be a clean win for Mark Briscoe, as it is Briscoe who grabs Crusher and spins him, whips him into the steel ring steps at ringside. Briscoe once again in control, acquitting himself nicely in these brawls. And Mark Briscoe is going to continue action out of the ring. Will we see some shenanigans? Not yet. As the Crusher outside the ring, on a roll of 8, is going to be forced to crawl back into the ring to beat the 10 count, where Mark Briscoe remains in control. Briscoe first to his feet. And out of the ring we go once again. And this time we are going to see some shenanigans. We go to the ringside mayhem chart. And to nobody's surprise, on the ringside mayhem chart, on a roll of 10, that is going to be outside interference. Now, neither of these guys are going to bring outside interference, but we'll just say that one of the tag team partners is going to get involved. And on a roll of 4, it's going to be Jay Briscoe getting involved. Jay Briscoe getting involved with the Crusher and Mark outside of the ring. What is going to happen here? We go to the outside interference chart, and on a roll of 5, it is a deadly attack from behind by Jay Briscoe on the Crusher, and that will put Mark Briscoe back on level 3 offense as action returns to the ring. The referee imploring Jay Briscoe to get out of the way here, third man in the fight. But Crusher is down and Mark Briscoe is back in control. And out of the ring we go once again. This time it is the Crusher who grabs Mark Briscoe. Crusher has had enough of that. He grabs Mark Briscoe and just slams him back first into the ring apron. And the brawl is breaking down once again here on the outside of the ring. And now on the outside of the ring, it is the Crusher applying the stomach claw to Mark Briscoe as the referee puts on the 10 count. Briscoe is trapped between the ring apron and the excruciating stomach claw of the Crusher before the referee finally gets the action back into the ring. These guys would just as soon conduct their business on the arena floor, but the referee has a match to officiate here, and he is doing his best to keep things in control. Back into the ring we go. And it is going to be the Crusher who delivers an atomic drop to Mark Briscoe. Atomic drop on Mark Briscoe. The Crusher continues and follows that up with another hard kick to the stomach, and Mark Briscoe is down. Finally, the Crusher is going to tag Dick the Bruiser back into the match, and we'll see what Bruiser can do with this crazy Mark Briscoe. Here's a big punch to the face. Right between the eyes, he hit Mark Briscoe. And the Crusher is going to follow that up with a big knee smash into the gut of Mark Briscoe. Briscoe taking some heavy blows here from Dick the Bruiser. Bruiser now with a snapmare over and a head twist. Just twisting the neck of Briscoe. Briscoe finally gets to his feet. And it is Briscoe who fires back with a karate chop to the gut. Bruiser doesn't like that very much, and Bruiser fires right back with a face rake. And that staggers Mark Briscoe. Briscoe cannot get over to make the tag. Dick the Bruiser remains in control. Dick the Bruiser now with a whip to the ropes. Off the ropes comes Mark Briscoe. And on a roll of 5, this time it is Mark Briscoe who comes off the ropes with a powerful flying tackle, catching Bruiser off balance and taking Dick the Bruiser down to the mat. Mark Briscoe now back in control. Briscoe with another senton smash. Bruiser to his feet. Bruiser follows that up with another snapmare and a kick to the back of Mark Briscoe. Mark Briscoe in some pain here. Back and forth we go. as Dick the Bruiser goes for the armbar. But Briscoe, the quicker of the two men, gets out of that one. And it is Briscoe who comes back with another series of redneck kung fu. Chop to the chest, chop to the head, brutal chop to the throat. Down goes Dick the Bruiser. Mark's going to go for the pin, and Bruiser kicks out of that one. But Mark is on a rampage here. Got that redneck kung fu going. And the fans here in Miami are responding. They don't know quite who to root for in this match, as both these teams are rough and tumble and well loved and appreciated by the fans. Fans cheering both teams, says Thomas Morgan, as we welcome Uncle Al, Red Sox fan, to the chat room for Saturday Night Wrestling here in the Dave Cave. Mark Briscoe is now going to go to the top rope, and he is going to attempt the death jump. Dick the Bruiser is down, and on a roll of 8, it is a flying clothesline off the turnbuckle by Briscoe that takes Dick the Bruiser back down to the canvas. That's a dimension that the Briscoe brothers can bring that the Bruiser and Crusher don't have. And now we go out of the ring once again, down to the arena floor. Is Mark going to try a suicide dive? No, he's not, as Dick the Bruiser is ready and waiting for that move. And it is Dick the Bruiser who grabs Mark Briscoe off the ring apron and just slams him face down onto the ring floor, or excuse me, onto the arena floor. Just grabbed him by the back of the neck and slammed him headfirst onto the floor, did Dick the Bruiser. And Mark Briscoe is now stunned. Bruiser pitches Mark back into the ring, and he is going to go now for a tombstone pile driver. And on a roll of 8, he nails Mark with a tombstone pile driver, and Mark is down. Mark crawling over to see if he can get a tag, but on a roll of 9, he is unable to do so. And it is Briscoe now, Dick the Bruiser going to the top rope for a knee drop onto the fallen Mark Briscoe. This is a finishing move. It's a +2 finisher. So on a roll of 3, Mark Briscoe will be pinned here. And on a roll of snake eyes, he got him. How about that? Dick the Bruiser out of nowhere just does in Mark Briscoe with that top rope knee drop and scores a surprise pinfall after a brutal brawl. These guys were determined to spend more time on the arena floor than in the ring, and it was Dick the Bruiser on the arena floor who just smacked Mark Briscoe face first onto the arena floor, and Briscoe never recovered from that. And Dick the Bruiser finishes the deal with the top rope knee drop to give Dick the Bruiser and the Crusher the victory here. Good win for Bruiser and Crusher. Top rope knee drop from Dick the Bruiser puts an end to this match. And the winners are Dick the Bruiser and the Crushers. I make some notes here for the write-up later. Fantastic match there, says Thomas Morgan, and a surprise finish. But Dick the Bruiser and the Crusher are your winners, and they will move on to the championship match of the Filsinger Cup Tournament for 2021, where they will meet the fabulous Freebirds. And that is an old Texas rivalry that has played itself out many times here in the Heartland Wrestling Association, the Heartland Championship Wrestling Federation. So Dick the Bruiser and the Crusher will take on the fabulous Freebirds for the Filsinger Cup Tournament Championship at the pay-per-view next week. All right, we're going to take a break from the tournaments, and now there is going to be a grudge match. Involving this man, Jumpin' Jim Brunzell, who may want to contact his next of kin. It was Jim Brunzell and his tag team partner B. Brian Blair who got into a dust-up after a match against Roddy Piper and Cowboy Bob Orton. And it was Brunzell who caught Cowboy Bob Orton with a dropkick from behind that sent Orton into the steel ring post outside the ring and caused Orton to suffer a knee injury. And Roddy Piper did not take kindly to that. And in order to exact some measure of revenge on Brunzell and his partner, contracted the services of this man, Cactus Jack. And it is going to be Cactus Jack taking on Jumpin' Jim Brunzell in a no disqualification grudge match here. And as I mentioned, the next of kin of Jumpin' Jim Brunzell have been notified. But Brunzell is not one to back down from the challenge. And he is ready to go to battle here against Cactus Jack tonight as a matter of professional pride. Once again, Cactus Jack was provided to me as a limited edition bootleg. I'm happy to have his services here. And Jumpin' Jim Brunzell, one of the original legends of wrestling in the sport. And now in color, thanks to the Legends Prime 2020 series put out by Filsinger Games official release. And it is going to be Jumpin' Jim Brunzell who takes the opening initiative. Actually, no, this is a grudge match. So on a roll of 3, we're going to the book. The face to the mat book is going to come into play. This is a grudge match. This is not a tournament match. The book does not come into play in tournament matches, but in a grudge match situation, when that opening initiative roll is tied, we go to the book, and it is Brunzell going to the book. And on a roll of double ones, is the wrestler agile? If yes, use this result, and indeed Brunzell is the more agile of the two men. Wrestler slithers up light fixture and dives onto opponent, 1 point. So how about that? Jumpin' Jim Brunzell runs out of the ring, climbs up onto the onto some of the television lighting scaffolding over the ring, and dives down onto Cactus Jack to get this one started. How about that? Jumpin' Jim Brunzell taking no prisoners here in his battle against Cactus Jack, and he gets the initiative and immediately monkey flips Cactus Jack up, over, and down to the canvas. A very quick wrestler is Jim Brunzell. Brunzell follows that up with an attempted body slam. That wasn't such a good idea. He's not going to get Cactus Jack up, and instead Cactus Jack is going to squeal at the top of his lungs and just grab Jim Brunzell in a chokehold. The squealing chokehold by Cactus Jack takes Jim Brunzell down to his knees. This is getting ugly in a hurry, as Cactus Jack now is going to pitch Jim Brunzell out of the ring. Brunzell is out of the ring, and Cactus is going to come tumbling off of the ring apron with the Cactus clothesline, leaving both men in a heap at ringside. That is the renowned Cactus clothesline, and that actually in the Filsinger game mechanic is an add one maneuver for both wrestlers. So Cactus Jack comes off the ring apron, buries Jim Brunzell with that clothesline. Both men crash to the arena floor, and it is a point of fatigue for each man. Cactus Jack remains in control as he rolls Brunzell back into the ring with a big, somewhat toothy grin, and just dumps Brunzell onto the top of his head with a stump pile driver. Cactus Jack goes for the cover. Brunzell kicks out of that one. I'm not sure what he was thinking by kicking out. I probably just would have stayed down after that Cactus clothesline. But Cactus Jack remains in control, and now he pitches Brunzell out of the ring once again. Out we go. But oh, on a roll of 3, that's going to favor Jumpin' Jim Brunzell. And on a roll of 3 with the C choice, the opponent comes out of the ring and a wild brawl erupts. Brunzell grabs a chair and comes after Cactus Jack. Cactus Jack stands his ground, and they're just both going to slug it out. Roll 1 die to see who wins the brawl. So Brunzell gets the even roll here, and on a roll of 2, it is a chair shot from Brunzell that takes Cactus Jack down. Brunzell in control back into the ring. What's he going to do here? He is going to go for a whip to the ropes after all that. Brunzell does have a tag team card, and he rolled a tag team move. which cannot be executed without Brian Blair in the ring with him. So it is a whip to the ropes. Cactus Jack comes off to the ropes. And on a roll of 6, it is a running back elbow from Jim Brunzell that takes Cactus Jack down to the mat. Brunzell in control here. Another whip to the ropes. And this time it is Brunzell who drops down. Cactus Jack bounces off the ropes the other way. And this time it is Cactus Jack, the stronger of the two men, with a big shoulder tackle that takes Brunzell back down to the canvas. What's this Cactus Jack character going to do now? Whip to the turnbuckle. Off the turnbuckle comes Brunzell. And on a roll of 4, it is a skull-splitting running lariat off the turnbuckle from Jim Brunzell that sends Cactus Jack back down to the mat. How about this? Cactus Jack is down. What's Brunzell going to do here? Brunzell is going to go for the jumping knee smash. Cactus Jack gets to one knee. Brunzell with a reverse atomic drop takes Cactus Jack back down. Jumping Jim Brunzell is holding his own in this situation. Another reverse atomic drop by Brunzell. Cactus Jack is staggered. Here's a head scissors by Brunzell. Cactus Jack has had about enough of that. And he just breaks free and drops Brunzell with a swinging neck breaker. Boom, down to the canvas goes jumping Jim Brunzell. Brunzell tries to get back to his feet. Cactus Jack drops the elbow. Cactus Jack follows up with a big headbutt. Caught him right between the eyes. Brunzell is staggered back. Cactus Jack now with drapes his man over the bottom rope and just drops the leg across the back of the shoulders. And that slams the head of Brunzell against the bottom rope in a choke. And jumping Jim Brunzell is hurting here. Crazy move by Cactus Jack. Where does he come up with this nonsense? Out of the ring we go again, and it's another Cactus clothesline down to the arena floor. My goodness. Add one to both. As Cactus Jack hits that falling, tumbling clothesline off the ring apron, taking both men down to the arena floor once again. Action on the arena floor. Cactus Jack slugging it out and buries Jim Brunzell with a big right hand. Back we go into the ring, and another Cactus clothesline, and both men are in a heap once again. Oh my goodness, goodness gracious. We may have to call the next of kin for both of these wrestlers. Cactus Jack in control. Here's another big headbutt. He scores right between the eyes. Brunzell goes down. What's this crazy idiot going to do now? It's a beatdown in the corner for Cactus Jack, just pummeling and pounding on Jim Brunzell in the corner. And I don't believe what I'm seeing here is Cactus Jack is fixing to go to the top turnbuckle. And as he flies off of the top turnbuckle, it is jumping Jim Brunzell who gets up there with him. And Brunzell takes Cactus Jack off the top turnbuckle with a superplex. And now it is Brunzell in control. As Brunzell caught Cactus Jack coming off the ropes, flipped him over with a big superplex. What's Brunzell going to do here? He's going to go for the sleeper hold. The sleeper hold on Cactus Jack, probably a good strategy, assuming that there's any blood flowing to the brain of Cactus Jack in the first place. Brunzell now with a leg drop. Cactus Jack gets to one knee. Brunzell with a whip to the ropes. Off the ropes comes Cactus Jack. Brunzell drops down. Cactus Jack off the ropes the other way. And this time it is a running double clothesline and both men go down. The man with the better ropes rating recovers first. That is indeed Jim Brunzell. He's first to his feet. And Brunzell is going to drop the leg once again. Brunzell is going to follow that up. He's going to go to the top rope. Death jump attempts for jumping Jim Brunzell. And on a roll of 12, Brunzell nails a perfect cross body block off the top rope. He goes for the cover. The pin roll rating here is, let's see, 2 plus 3. The pin roll rating here is a 5. But on a roll of 7, Cactus Jack kicks out and the match continues. Both of these men have been through a war here tonight. Here's a killer drop kick from Jim Brunzell. He goes for the cover once again. And on a roll of 7, he got him. Oh my goodness, I do not believe what I have just seen. Jumpin' Jim Brunzell with the upset, using that killer drop kick to score the pinfall on Cactus Jack. I do not believe what I have just seen from Jumpin' Jim Brunzell. This must be the upset of the universe, as Cactus Jack has been pinned cleanly in the center of the ring by Jumpin' Jim Brunzell after a killer drop kick. Do you believe it? Let's see what's going to happen after the match. It is going to be Cactus Jack getting to his feet, but the referees quickly grab Cactus Jack and pull him off of Jumpin' Jim Brunzell as Brunzell rolls out of the ring and away to safety. Oh my goodness, I do not believe what we have just seen here. Jumpin' Jim Brunzell with a pinfall victory over Cactus Jack in Cactus Jack's Heartland Championship Wrestling debut. What a stunning upset here in Miami. The fans are going crazy. Cactus Jack is just pounding his fists into the mat as Jumpin' Jim Brunzell makes his way back up the ring ramp in celebration. Celebration mainly, if anything else, that he survived, let alone came away with a pinfall victory in this match. Thomas Morgan booing at ringside as Jumpin' Jim Brunzell escapes with his life and escapes with a victory over Cactus Jack in this grudge match. A major upset, says Cleveland baseball fan 879. Indeed, sir, you are correct. And that is going to bring us to our main event of the evening and take us back to Filsinger Cup action. As Cleveland baseball fan says, I smell Piper and Jack having a feud for not beating Brunzell. That's actually not a bad idea. I may file that one away for future reference. I think Rowdy Roddy Piper and Cactus Jack could put on quite a show. Thomas Morgan says Jack should DDT him on the floor. That's what we tried to do here with the 12-sided die roll, the gut check roll. But the gut check roll came out even, and that allowed Jim Brunzell to escape without suffering any further damage at the hands of Cactus Jack. Because if Cactus Jack could have gotten his hands on Jumpin' Jim Brunzell after that pinfall, we might have seen some sort of serious shenanigans after that situation. But give credit to Jim Brunzell. From the opening of that contest, he went on the attack and he surprised Cactus Jack with a great show of aerial wrestling and a surprise pinfall victory. All right, up next we have the very popular Bobo Brazil in quarterfinal Filsinger Cup action, taking on the legendary Ric Flair. Ric Flair was a longtime world champion this year in the Heartland before he finally lost the belt. And it was Bobo Brazil who defeated Ric Flair in a #1 contenders match to take Flair out of contention for a world title rematch. Brazil already has a world title match in his bag, and he can score another one here with a win over Ric Flair tonight. Historically speaking, in terms of the Filsinger Cup matches, Ric Flair won the Filsinger Cup last year. Bobo Brazil actually won the Filsinger Cup back in the year 2010. Excuse me, 2011 was the year that Bobo Brazil won the cup. So two former Filsinger Cup winners squaring off in quarterfinal action. The winner to move on to the semifinals to meet VADER. and head to hopefully a shot at the Filsinger Cup at the pay-per-view next week. So here we go, Bobo Brazil against Ric Flair. Bobo Brazil clearly the fan favorite in this situation, although Ric Flair has his admirers the world over, and especially in Miami. So again, opinions are mixed as Bobo Brazil and Ric Flair come into action. And the opening initiative roll once again is tied, but we do not use the shenanigans book here in tournament matches because that is an even roll. We go to the right and Ric Flair takes the initiative. And it is Ric Flair starting things off with a whip to the turnbuckle off of the opening lockup. Brazil goes into the turnbuckle, and on a roll of 10, it is a big kick from Flair that takes Brazil down to the canvas. Flair with a somersault knee drop onto the fallen Brazil. Brazil back up to his feet. Another knee drop from Flair puts Brazil down to the canvas. Ric Flair going for it immediately, and Flair with a sleeper hold. Flair going with the sleeper hold here early in the match. But it is Brazil who powers his way out of the sleeper hold. And Brazil who tosses Ric Flair down to the canvas and drops a big elbow on Flair. Brazil not ready to give up on the sleeper hold yet, and now Brazil is choking Flair against the ropes. Flair being choked on the ropes. Here's a falling elbow attempt from Bobo Brazil. That is a choice roll. And on a roll of 8, Flair gets out of the way of the falling elbow drop. And it is Flair who comes back and hits another somersault knee drop that takes Brazil back down to the mat. Flair trying to outmaneuver Brazil and get him down to the canvas so he can start working the legs. And now a big suplex by Ric Flair takes Brazil up over and down to the canvas hard once again. The Nature Boy is in town. Woo! Says Thomas Morgan. Flair moves in. And Flair is going to pitch Bobo Brazil out of the ring. Out of the ring we go here. And on a roll of 8, it is Flair who takes the measure of Brazil on the arena floor and just stuns Brazil with a big chop across the chest. Brazil forced to roll back into the ring ahead of the 10 count where Flair is waiting with another big suplex. Down to the canvas, hard goes Brazil. Brazil wants out of the ring once again. Already these two are doing battle on the arena floor. And on a roll of 7, that's the best man wins roll. Both these men are A-rated performers out of the ring, so the decision goes to the man on offense. In this case, that is Ric Flair. Flair wins the first 2 brawls on the arena floor. Back into the ring we go, and Flair is going to go up and look for a death jump as Brazil rolls back into the ring. This isn't always Flair's forte. Let's see what happens here. But on a roll of 6, it is a flying clothesline from Flair off the top rope that takes Brazil back down to the canvas. And Flair is going to go for a pin using the ropes here, covering the shoulders of Bobo Brazil. Brazil kicks out of that one, but he is not happy, and the referee has given Flair a bit of what for over that tactic. And Flair just dumps Brazil back down to the mat, and Flair is going to wrap on the figure 4. There's been no damage done to the legs of Brazil quite yet here, so this is still a 0 finisher. And on a roll of 11, Brazil gets out of that figure 4 by getting his arms over the ropes immediately. But Flair sending a message here that he can strike with that figure 4 leg lock from any position. And that does add 1 to the leg damage totals for Bobo Brazil. Each time Flair does a move that damages the legs of the opponent, we add 1 to the value of the figure 4 leg lock as the finishing hold. So the figure 4 will now be a +1 maneuver, but Flair's going to go back up instead for another death jump. And on a roll of 9, he nails him with another flying clothesline off the top rope. Brazil is a step slow now after that figure 4, and Flair is going to clip the knee. Flair takes out the knee of Bobo Brazil, and that does another point of damage to the knee. Brazil is down, and Flair is going to once again pitch Brazil out of the ring. It's playtime on the arena floor, And again, Ric Flair is going to win the brawl on the arena floor with a series of punches to the gut, as BRUISER is just trying to catch his breath, and Flair is all over him like steak on rice, as Thunderbolt Patterson would say. Flair still in control as the match goes back into the ring, and out of the ring we go once again. On a roll of 6, there will be no shenanigans quite yet. We need a roll of 8 to get to the shenanigans chart. And instead, it is going to be another brawl on the arena floor, another best man wins roll, and another victory for Ric Flair. So Flair controlling the action here inside the ring and out, as the referee desperately tries to corral these two men back inside the squared circle. And Flair takes out the knee once again, as BRUISER came through the ropes. Flair with another clip to the knee, and BRUISER now tumbles out of the ring. And we'll have more action on the arena floor, as this time we are going to the shenanigans charts. Ringside mayhem. What's going to happen here? On a roll of 9, it is the outside interference roll once again. One of the wrestlers brings in outside help, and it will be Flair bringing in the outside help. He's got J.J. Dillon at ringside assisting him. What's Dillon going to do here? We go to the manager interference chart, and on a roll of 9, your manager tries to interfere, but the opponent clotheslines the manager and delivers a specialty move onto you. So that is a big-time reversal of fortune for Bobo BRUISER, as he just clotheslined the stuffings out of James J. Dillon at ringside, turned and nailed Flair with a headbutt right between the eyes. That's going to cost Flair a point of fatigue, and that's going to put Bobo back in control as action returns to the ring. Bobo's not going to take that kind of nonsense without putting up a fight, and he got the best of the Nature Boy in that situation. Back to the ring we go, and Bobo scores with another big headbutt. A cocoa butt between the eyes of Flair. He goes for the cover. Not going to see any snake eyes this time, but Flair takes another point of fatigue, and both these men are starting to show signs that they have been to war. Bobo follows up with another pitch outside of the ring. Will we see some shenanigans here? No. Flair rolls on the out of the ring chart, and on a roll of 7, this time it is BRUISER who gets the advantage in the ringside brawl, as BRUISER is the aggressor. Back in the ring, another cocoa butt from BRUISER. Another cover. The pin roll here is 3, and on a roll of 5, it is Flair who is able to kick out. But BRUISER continues on the attack. Another cocoa butt. The cocoa butt is a 0 finisher, but BRUISER has it on both 5 and 6 on his offensive card. So he delivers a series of these cocoa butts. He goes for another cover here. The pin roll is 4 or lower, and on a roll of 8, Flair gets his foot over the bottom rope, and the match will continue. The momentum is on the side of Bobo BRUISER. The crowd is on the side of Bobo BRUISER, as BRUISER continues on the attack with another big cocoa butt. The pin roll is 5. And Flair once again escapes with a roll of 7. BRUISER stays in control, this time a choke on the ropes. Flair tried to crawl out of the ring. Bobo BRUISER caught him and just draped his big leg over the neck of Ric Flair, choking him on the second ring rope. The referee forces the break, and it is Flair finally able to get to his feet after breaking out of that hold. And it is Flair who again drops down and double leg dives BRUISER and takes him down to the canvas and hits him with the somersault knee drop. Here's Flair with a quick cover. BRUISER easily powers out of that one. But Flair just that quickly has turned the tide of this match. And now it is Flair going back to the sleeper hold. The sleeper hold by Flair is doing its damage. BRUISER goes down to one knee. Will he submit here? The submission roll is 4 or lower. BRUISER powers his way out of the sleeper hold. ID Jester in the chat room just in time for the main event. Good evening to you, sir. We have got Ric Flair and Bobo BRUISER going at it tooth and nail. This has been a back and forth battle between two legends of the sport. Ric Flair in control here, and he is going to take things out of the ring once again. And on a roll of 3, we will not go to the shenanigans chart. We go to the standard out of the ring chart, where on a roll of 4, it is Bobo Brazil who grabs Flair by the leg and slams Flair's leg into the steel ring post. And it is Flair now who is in trouble. Bobo back in control. Bobo is going to go for a grinding hammerlock. That is a power move. That requires a roll of 7 or lower. But on a roll of 8, Flair gets out of the grinding headlock, and it is Flair who comes back and takes out the knee of Bobo once again. Another clip to the knee of Bobo, and he is maxed out on knee damage. Bobo is hurt. Flair is in control. Flair comes in with another butt drop across the leg. Bobo is hurt. Flair with thunderous chops across the chest, and Bobo slumps down against the turnbuckle as Flair just pummels Bobo with those chops. This is anybody's match now. Flair going up for a death jump, as Bobo has been sent to Looney Street by that sleeper hold. Flair comes off with the death jump as Bobo staggers to his feet. Flair with a cross body block off the top rope. He goes for the cover. The pin roll is 5, and on a roll of 4, he got him. How about that? Ric Flair with an unbelievable victory over Bobo Brazil with a crossbody drop, with a crossbody block off of the top turnbuckle. Ric Flair is your winner after a tremendous battle. That's a match of the year candidate, as Flair and Brazil went toe to toe in all sorts of combat. We saw headbutts. We saw Flair work the legs. We saw all kinds of action on the arena floor. We saw James J. Dillon just about get his head knocked off by Bobo Brazil. But at the end, it was Flair using that sleeper hold to weaken Bobo Brazil. Flair finally coming off the top turnbuckle with a cross-body block and a pinfall victory here in tonight's main event. Amazing match, says Derek Bauman. Indeed, you are correct. As we say good evening to Clinton Parks. Gosh, all kinds of cool people are showing up in the chat room now. As we wind things up here with your winner, Ric Flair. Flair moves to the semifinals of the Filsinger Cup Tournament, where he will take on Vader. In the other semifinal, it will be the upstart Shane Douglas taking on Dusty Rhodes. So one of those 4 men will be the 2021 Filsinger Cup champion. Shane Douglas, Dusty Rhodes, Ric Flair, and Vader vying for the Filsinger Cup Tournament Championship next week. All right, that wraps things up here from the Dave Cave fans. Thanks to everybody who came out tonight. Thanks to Thomas Morgan, Cleveland baseball fan 879, Al Red Sox fan, Derek Bauman, Clinton Parks, I.D. Jester, Captain Carl 8, and Danny and Gray's Cards and Toys. I'm sorry I missed you coming in, Danny. Thanks for stopping by to check things out here today. Got my basketball card shipment from Danny this week. Some good stuff there. Chris Paul, Cameron Johnson, and a lot of good basketball cards from Danny's break this week. So I do thank you for that. And I thank you all for checking things out here from the Dave Cave as we wrap up Heartland Championship Wrestling here and say that's our stream, and I am out of here.